You could feel the tension going into the final day of a world-class event staged in the picturesque fishing village of Howth in Ireland. All eyes were on America's Cup winner John Bertrand, leading the regatta with 2 races to go. But 43 crews from 10 nations were competing, each with a story to tell. One story we couldn't resist following was of Julia and Graham Bailey, husband and wife, top lawyers, passionate about sailing and this quality class, and actually performing brilliantly in the top 10. Why is this interesting? Well, because they were helming different boats, competing against each other.
Sometimes we sail together, but it's quite fun to sail apart sometimes. She's put her own team together for this one, so we're competitors this time.
Yeah, we compete, and I'm aware of where he is on the racecourse, partly because I know he's so good. So if he's there must be a reason.
Well, in a sort of TV way, we tried to dig up a bit of worldwide wrestling-style banter, but in truth, they were rather civilised about their rivalry. Maybe it's a British thing.
I wouldn't even describe it as rivalry. I mean, if Graham wins a race and we're second, I'm delighted.
The needle is, it doesn't actually exist. I'm just delighted to see her doing so well. I mean, she'd always watch the boat with the improving series, which currently is Julia. I mean, she's going to be a dangerous boat.
As we flew in and out of the harbour, we were curious about what all the fishing boats were actually pulling up.
I'm fishing for crab, brown crab, lobster and velvet crab. Well, I've been always around fishing boats all my life. Families had boats and that for many generations. As a child, it was a great place to grow up. I mean, you had the sea and the harbour, and also you had the mountain. That's a lobster. About 3/4 of a kilo in weight. Look well in the plate.
Talking of plates, if you're a fan of seafood, it's really not that far to the table here.
Howth is very famous for the seafood restaurant, and we are offering halibut and monkfish, sea bass, sole. That's very popular in sole in here, and prawns and oysters and everything. All seafood items we are serving here.
In the regatta, on the final day, only one boat could attack John Bertrand, Ante Razmilovic from Hong Kong. Unfortunately, Ante's team had a nightmare with a jib halyard breaking, which made them late to the start and totally broke their rhythm.
3, 2, 1.
It was all looking good though for Bertrand, a slick sailor by all accounts.
We've been talking about him here in the committee boat, and 2 things. You don't see John Bertrand at all before the start of a race. He's out there, he's not making any fuss, there's no confusion. You're never calling his bow number, boats coming up to the start. He's never pushing lines. The first time you really see him is emerging out in the top 3 or 4 positions at the top marks of the course. He's a remarkable man.
In glorious conditions with the sun shining in this picture postcard setting, John Bertrand nailed race 8 with a bullet. He didn't even need to go out and race in the 9th. He'd won the event, the World Etchells Championship, after 20 years of trying. We jumped aboard to chat to John and his crew.
Conditions here were superb this week, so we're very fortunate. And I just, to have a team like this sailing, on the boat, it's just a joy. Just hardly anything is said on the boat. It's so quiet and serene with the tactics and so on, and because we're trying to balance Mother Nature with all the boats around us and, piece it all together, piece the jigsaw together. So just to race with a red-hot crew like this is, to me, is a real thrill.
I've just learned how good John is at sort of keeping the communication going on the boat, and when we have a problem with the boat, if the boat's not going well through the water, John's the first person to say, oh, we need to change this, and our tuning partners were saying yesterday, if they're ever quicker than us, it's only for a few seconds and we'll make the adjustments and we're straight on pace again. So John's excellent in identifying that, and yeah, it's an honour to sail with him and also Andrew.
What's the secret of the magic of John Bertrand?
Oh, well, I guess Careful what you say,
Since
Andrew.
probably before Tommy was born, you know, John won the America's Cup. It was pretty amazing. I was a young kid back then, so there's that aspect to have the opportunity to sail with John is amazing. And you know, he's been sailing in this class for 20 odd years, and this is the first time he's won the world. So to be part of that with him, I think both for Tommy and I, it's tear in the eye stuff. You know, it's fantastic.
That's it from Hoth, a cracking club that hosted a cracking event. As all 43 teams packed up, they took a slice of magic with them that'll be treasured on the mantelpiece of their heart.